Okay, these are the Palmer Manacles. These were engineered and made in 1876, which was back in the Old West time. These are probably the most unique and different handcuffs that you'll ever see. They're made kind of like slave bracelets. They're quite wide, and they've got openings in them in the banding. They lock in two different ways, but to truly understand them, we've got to unlock them and take a look at them. This is a reproduction key. This was made by Ian McCall, and it's got a double end on it. It's got a triangular end for the double lock and a threaded end for the single lock. The single lock is right here, and it is a right-handed thread. We screw the key in, we lift the key up, and the cuffs come apart. The cuffs work by a male and female end. As you can see inside here, there's a locking latch, and what happens when we put the key in and turn it and pull, you see that latch retracts out of the hole and into the this part of the mechanism here, and the other side here is just a stud with an inlet here that allows this to be locked together. And what happens is the cuffs have two unique little hinges on them, which sets them apart from anything else. And what will happen is this gets wrapped around the hand and fed through here, the wrist being inside. The other one, let's pull the key out and I'll show you. The other one operates in the same way, but it's got a much larger hole here to fit the female part of the lock through. This will wrap around the hand, click like so, and what happens is they get pushed together, and once you hear that snap, they're locked up tight. The double lock on this is just a set screw, and we'll get a close-up of that right there. All we do for the double lock is to put the triangular end of the key in, tighten it up, and then these will have to be released by the double lock, and that's a regular right hand screw. And then back to the single lock. Lift and separate. There we go. And that's the basic functions of the Palmer handcuffs. I became intrigued with these cuffs when I was just a little bitty kid, and I seen Houdini with a pair of Palmer leg irons in a photo, and I couldn't understand how the cuffs came apart and separated the way that they do, and I became obsessed with them, and I hunted a pair down. It took me many years to find a pair, but I did. I paid quite a handsome price for these. Actually, these still have some of the plating on them if you look up close, which is unusual for Palmer handcuffs, being that they're so old. There's still a little plating around the hinges, and I've got quite a bit of plating actually inside of these. I'm going to show you. At any rate, these are my favorite handcuffs, by far my favorite handcuffs in the entire world. I couldn't love a human baby as much as I do these cuffs. You see there's a lot of plating left in here, here and here, a little bit left on the stud, but I'm not sure where the plating ends and the wear of the steel begins, because in certain areas we've got a lot of rubbing area, and sometimes that will actually polish the steel without actually wanting to. And there we go. A little bit of plating here left as well. And these cuffs are actually quite formidable for one reason alone, is that they lock the hands in such a restrictive way that the cuffs will only pivot. There's not a whole lot of give to the cuffs. They turn this way, and that's about it. And if you apply the double lock tight enough, they won't even pivot that way. And then the hands are straight out in front and in such an uncomfortable position that it's actually quite difficult to manipulate the locks of these cuffs. And that's also one of the reasons I like them so much. And these are the Palmer No. 4 handcuffs. Little side note, these cuffs were actually made in 5 different sizes. Size 5 would be for a small woman or a child. This is size 4. Size 3 will be a little bit bigger than this, would be between a very large man and maybe a smaller leg iron. And they made an adapter chain to go with these that would fit any of the cuffs. Size 2 is a regular leg iron, and a size 1 would be an over-the-boot leg iron, which is actually quite big. If I had a chain to go with these, a chain would work between them. The chain is a regular chain, and then what it's got is a stud on one side and a female lock like this one on the other. So what happens is you take the female side of the chain, click it into the stud of this cuff, and you click the other side into this cuff here, and you will actually have a 3-piece handcuff or leg iron that operates just like these do here. You would have the single lock and double lock on both sides, and that's really, really unique. You can do a lot of stuff with these. You can actually take the chain and use it as a chain and lock, actually by putting the stud and the female together and making a continuous circle. And you can use a chain on a single cuff and then be able to just wrap that chain around something and lock somebody to something. There's just an untold amount of things that you can do with this cuff. It's really an amazing, unique cuff, and it's very rare. You're actually getting quite a privilege to see one of these and how they operate up close here on this video, which is a privilege that I never had. I actually had to obtain a pair to be able to find out exactly how they worked. And this is an escape artist's nightmare to have something like this out there waiting as a challenge, and not knowing when somebody's going to bring one of these to a show, and you not only have no idea how to open it, you don't even have an idea how it works. So anybody out there that's trying to obtain knowledge on old cuffs, this is the place. I'm the Amazing Michael, and these are my favorite cuffs in the world, the Palmer No. 4 Manacles. See you next time here on YouTube.